Okay. Fellow officers, board members, visitors, and friends. You can-
Yep.
Okay. I hereby welcome you to the State of the NDA address. Oh, wait. I'm not that kind of president. Seriously, though, thank you for attending the fourth International Conference of the Norrie Disease Association here in Boston. For repeat visitors, we hope to offer some new and exciting content. And to any new persons joining us, we want only that you leave more enlightened, inspired, and perhaps a little more connected to others in the Norrie community. I will first formally acknowledge all of our wonderful board members, without whom this event would not be happening. We, the NDA board, meet approximately once a month, and trust me, finding a time that works for everyone is a fun challenge indeed. But we've made it work. If each of you who is present could briefly stand or raise your hand when your name is stated so the audience can recognize you. First, our tireless and hardworking secretary, Catherine Casey Guzman.
She's outside.
Without having really been asked to do so, she took on the lion's share of planning, making many phone calls, shuttling to and from venues, and generally ensuring that we all knew how things would go. Second, I thank our board treasurer, Allison Marshallonis, who helped line up many of the great speakers you will hear from later today. She has been a part of the NDA for as long as I have, and always been willing to do whatever is necessary to get the job done. Then there's Jan Stepanchuk. The last of the original Norrie board and one who has served proudly for a very long time. She's the mother of a Norrie man, and her entire family has given in many ways to this organization. She had been the original secretary, and her daughter, Kara, our first treasurer. Next, there's Wendy Horrobin. Hailing from the UK, Wendy has done a significant amount to drum up interest in and research on Norrie on the other side of the pond, up to and including creation of the Norrie Disease Foundation, NDF, about which you will also hear later. We appreciate all of the great work Wendy is doing in advancing the cause of research and connection over there. Then there's Randy Kalani, who I know is not actually present, but he is also an international board member, and he helped us by floating the idea of holding the conference in another city, the one in which he worked. This helped us all in the end because we were able to get more competitive pricing on hotel rooms and the like, even as it remained in our already established host city. Then there's Nathan Bullock. Nathan is one of our newer members and one with a lot of promise in helping with some of the initiatives we hope to take on in the future. Being blind himself, he has a high degree of understanding of what accessible technology looks like. And last, but certainly not least, as many others contributed in small ways as well, I would like to extend appreciation to Casey's husband, Mark, for his work with the NDA website. Using his technical know-how, Mark has ensured that operations would run a lot more efficiently than they have in the past through methods such as automating membership sign-up, creating a simplified email address for NDA board members to facilitate communication among each other, and other means to which I, one who only has a rudimentary understanding of HTML, am not privy. We are grateful for it all. And I would be remiss if I didn't extend appreciation as well to those in this facility who worked with our board members to get everything organized. Your work has of course not gone unnoticed. The NDA as an organization began around has been around since approximately 2006 when it was founded by the late Mike Collier, former President Bruce McGuire, and other concerned parents and persons with Norrie who envisioned a support group that would help all who interact with this condition in some way. They staged the first conference in 2009, which I am proud to say I attended, and since we have managed one every 3 years. I am happy to note that our little association is thriving and now larger than ever, thanks in fair amount to the creation of the Norrie support group on Facebook by Felicia Brown, a concerned mother who wanted to find connections and advice on how to help her son. Thank you, Felicia. While, of course, our original mailing list was and is very important in connecting those who have questions to those who have answers, a major advantage of Facebook is people's ability to find our Norrie Disease Association official page, as well as people like me through search. I have seen it, as I have often been a first point of contact for a parent who receives this random diagnosis and wants to know what to do. I have heard from individuals from locales like Armenia, Turkey, and Singapore, all of whom said that they felt a great deal of relief in finding such a group online and being able to feel less alone in confronting this relatively rare disorder. To that end, the Norrie Support Group in particular has allowed you all to share serious and challenging, as well as amusing and fun moments with each other, not only through text, but also via photo and video. While I'm not entirely certain what the group will look like going forward, I do anticipate a continuing integration of multimedia content. We have, for example, spoken for years about the idea of creating webinars and the like to fill time in between conferences, so hopefully I and others can launch these in short order in the coming year. On a slightly more personal note, I actually completed my Master of Arts degree in Communication online over the past 2 years. For my capstone, I created a strategic plan for the NDA based on research and feedback from you, and I thank you all who chose to participate in my little survey. It was helpful. To give a brief summary of what I found, the NDA should focus on understanding how and why people initially interact with the organization. We should also aim to create messaging that addresses diverse audiences, especially given our international and cross-generational scope. There should be an effort to find effective leaders, which for us really means board members, to advance our various causes in medical, social, and other fields. Finally, the NDA and its members could benefit from positive media presence, both social and traditional, which we hope to get from this conference. In closing, we will soon be extending opportunities to you for board participation. One of the things that keeps an organization thriving is fresh, new input. I'm sure all of these great minds can help contribute to the betterment of the NDA and help us serve others in the future. Thank you. Before we have our keynote speaker, Dr. Florian Eichler would like to say a few words.
Thanks, John. I just wanted, on behalf of MGH, to extend a welcome to everyone here and tell you how delighted we are at MGH to have this event here, and just tell you briefly about the history of MGH and Norrie disease. Is this on? Yeah. Dr. Catherine Sims is Dr. Catherine Sims is a physician scientist here who, for many years, was really the dedicated clinician scientist in the field of Norrie disease, helped find the disease-causing gene in Norrie disease, and has been really, for many of us, a hero in the field of neurogenetics and a mentor to many of us. Since her retirement a few years ago, there have been big shoes to fill. And as one of the neurologists here working in neurogenetics, I feel indebted to her and want to uphold the tradition of serving the Norrie disease community. So I'm very happy to have the NDA here. Since Dr. Sims retired, much has changed in the field of rare diseases, and it's a very exciting time. Beyond finding genes and improving diagnostics, we've gone on to come up with very targeted treatments, and MGH has really been at the forefront of this. We've recently completed the first successful gene therapy for progressive X-linked disorder of the brain. I'll tell you a little bit about that this afternoon. So I think there are many opportunities for rare diseases, and different than 10, 20 years ago, rare diseases were very much on the margins. I think in the age of precision medicine, they're coming to the forefront of attention, and certainly here in the Boston area with all the biotechnology and academic resources, we think there's a real opportunity to serve the community of Norrie disease. So when I told Casey and Allison and others, I really would like to see a wish list come together at the end of this conference and see how together over the coming years we could help further research and care for the community. So again, welcome on behalf of MGH. Thank you.